Hello and welcome to this yoga flow. My name is Gabriella and I'm so glad that you're here. If this is your first time here, I would highly check out this video. This is going to have you open up your lymph nodes and kind of give you a few guidelines of how to best prep and go throughout your flow. And if you are coming back, then thank you for being here and I'm so excited to flow with you today. So grab your mats, grab any props that you have, and let's get started. So before we begin, if you have not seen that previous video where I explain how we can move our bodies in the proper way, then please go back, watch that video. It's going to help you move through this flow. Today we're going to be focusing a lot on mobility. It'll be a quick full body one. So this could be great for a supplement before you work out or before another yoga flow. So let's take 15 minutes and let's get into our bodies. Gently seated in a cross-legged seated position, or you can be seated on your knees. I want you to just lift up from the crown, relax the shoulders, close the eyes, and get into your body. Notice how your body is feeling, how your breath is speaking to you, and maybe what's going on in your mind. Take a moment to just acknowledge that and come back to this present moment. Come back to your environment. It's not about the future or the past, it's just about right here. When we notice where we are, it's going to be easier to notice our progress. And then we're going to invite 3 deep cleansing breaths. So we're going to take a deep breath in from the nose and exhale the mouth. Inhale and release. Take one more deep breath as full as you can in and sigh it out. Notice what 3 breaths can do to your mind, your body, and bring you back to this present moment. Gently, you can open up your eyes, come back to this room. If you want to set an intention for this practice, go ahead, but it's going to be a 15-minute flow, so carry this intention with you through every sense of movement. We're going to inhale our hands up overhead, belly button draws up towards the heart. And exhale, right hand comes down and our left hand comes up and over like a rainbow. The left knee is down and relaxed, and you should feel a good stretch on the left side of the body. The left fingers are active and we're not collapsing down, but our heart is expansive up. If you notice that it's hard to breathe, maybe you've gone too far. Inhale back up towards center, and exhale, left hand comes down and right hand comes up and over. Taking a nice deep stretch. Moving our spine in different directions than our typical movement of forward and back. Inhale back up towards center. We're going to do this one more time. If you want to invite movement of the neck by gazing up and down. Inhale up. And left hand comes down, slowly reaching over. You're moving through your fingertips. Your fingers are the one that's driving the movement. If your knee comes up like this, you've gone too far. So relax that right knee to be heavy. And inhale, come back up. Reach all the way up. Notice what leg is in front. For mine, it's my left. We're going to suck that belly button up and in. Hinge from the hips, not the lower back. Reach your heart space forward until your hands come down. Then from here, you can round the upper body, tuck the chest. You should feel a good stretch on the back body. And again, meet your body's needs. Even if you're all the way up here, your palms can face up. But you want to have a long elongation of the spine, so we're not necessarily collapsing ourselves on our pelvis. And then slowly roll, stacking each vertebrae up one by one. And the right leg is going to come in front, or switch up your legs. We're going to do the same thing. So inhale those hands up. Really suck in as much oxygen as you can, and then reach those hands forward. Relax the head. You might even feel this on the outside of your hips. And then slowly, with control, your arms are limb and relax. And you glide your way up. Take a moment, roll those shoulders a little bit. See if you can really be intentional with the movement, making them expansive. Maybe you go slow, and then go the opposite way, squeezing the shoulder blades down and back together, and all the way around. Kind of kinks out in the neck, just warming up the joints. Again, we don't want to collapse onto our necks where it's hanging heavy. We're engaging the muscles of the neck. It's working together as a unit. It's like someone's pulling a string from the top of your head. Good. Slowly come on up. And we're going to come into a tabletop position. So coming onto all fours, our hands are stacked underneath our shoulders. The fingers are nice and wide. Our knees come stacked underneath our hips. And our ankles, our toes are in line with our knees. We're going to do a few cat-cows. So on our inhale, we're going to drop the belly, arch the back. Your gaze is up. See if you can push the floor gently away and sink into those shoulder blades. On our exhale, draw that navel up towards the heart, and this will create a momentum to round the back, pressing the back away from you, pressing into your hands and your knees, creating a dome-like shape. And inhale, sink into the shoulders. Arch the back, spread the glutes, your gaze is all the way up. And exhale, round the back. See if you can feel the flow of your spine. Inhale. Does it feel choppy? Does it feel smooth? Go ahead, take about 2 more. Wherever you're at your own pace, see if you can sync up your breath with your movement. So whether that be your movement speeds up or your breath slows down. Neutralize your position. The toes can be tucked or untucked. We're going to do a thread the needle. So press into that left hand. We'd never want to lock out on the joints or our elbows, so keep a little micro bend within that elbow or pushing away from us so we're not sinking into our shoulders. Press it into all fingertips. The right hand is going to slide all the way up as much as possible, using your back muscles to help support. And then we're going to slide the right hand underneath the left armpit the right palm faces up. And we're going to slowly come onto our shoulder and our right ear. The right hand is completely relaxed onto the floor, and you should feel a good stretch within the shoulder blades. Relax that left shoulder. If you want a deeper stretch, you can go ahead, extend that left hand out in front of you. Or you can wrap your left hand around and behind the back, reaching for that right inner thigh. Slowly release and bring the left hand back to its place in front of your face. Press into your left hand and slide your way all the way up. Now we're going to do some mobility movements. So it's going to do the same thing of tucking that right hand underneath that left armpit, coming onto our shoulder, and then lifting ourselves back up. So again, bring that belly button into the heart space. It will help you ease up any sense of pressure on the joints, protects the spine. You're going to take 2 more. See if you can move with intention. Have it be like you're moving through water or moving through honey. The space is around you is active. It's not empty. It's not nothing. Maybe you notice your tricep being activated, and bring that right hand back down. You can shake out your left hand if that feels good. Mine was cramping up a little bit. Wow. Now let's do the same thing on the opposite side. So press it into all fingertips of the right hand. We're not locking our elbow, but we're keeping a little micro bend. We're pushing the floor away from us. Inhale that left hand up. Activate those fingers, and then the palm faces underneath, or faces up, excuse me. And coming onto our left shoulder and our left ear. Relax both shoulders. Relax the jaw, and maybe bring attention to the temple that's touching the mat. Does it feel tense, tender? Maybe rock your head a little bit, massage that temple. Left hand or right hand can come out in front of you, or you can wrap it around the back. And the right hand comes back down in front of the face, pressing into that right hand, lifting your way up. Left hand comes all the way up. It's kind of like someone's pulling your hands apart from one another. And left hand comes down. Continue this mobility flow. If you feel some snap, crackle, pops in the spine, the shoulders, as long as it feels good, then that means we're releasing some gases in the joints. And the movement is going to support the synovial fluid, which is lubricating the joints for better movement. Take one more round. Find your breath. If you set an intention for this movement, go ahead, remind yourself of that intention, and come back into a tabletop position. We're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So our toes are going to tuck, and we're pressing into our hands, kind of like they're aiming for the top center part of the mat. And lift the hips up, coming onto our feet. Think of a pyramid or a triangle. Your hands and your feet are the base, and your butt is the tip. You can have a little micro bend within the knees. The heels do not have to touch. Mine certainly do not, and I've been doing this for years. But I would rather have you press your chest towards your thighs versus having a roundness in the back. So It's kind of like you're arching your back a little bit. Maybe you bend your knees down. Your fingers are spread nice and wide. And then as you bend your knees, you'll get the better posture for your upper body. And maintaining that, then you can go ahead and straighten out your legs. You can go ahead, bend one knee at a time, walking out your dog. Again, bringing that belly button up towards the heart space. Pretend like you're on a paddleboard. This will help incorporate the stability muscles. And then we're going to slowly press onto our toes, coming onto our tippy toes. And you're going to feel this momentum ride through your hips all the way towards your spine till you roll yourself into a high plank. Belly button is up and in. Slowly bend the knees, drag the hips back, and then come back into a turbo dog where your knees are completely bent. And then straighten out those legs, come back into a downward facing dog. So this is a downward dog flow where we're rolling ourselves into a high plank. Go ahead, move slow, move with intention and integrity. Slow and steady wins the race. And drag your hips back and straighten out your legs. Go ahead and neutralize your dog, coming into a full dog. This might be a little bit longer than 15 minutes, but we're going to bend into that right knee, lift it and bring it on the outside of that right hand, drop down onto the left knee, and we're not coming into a full lunge, but our right knee is going to be stacked over our right ankle. If you want to untuck the left toes, we just want to make sure that we're coming onto the top part of our knee. We're not directly on the kneecap to protect it. So maybe you have to slide your left leg back a little bit. We're going to take another twist. So press into that left hand. Inhale that right hand up. And then reaching through those right fingertips, we're going to rotate our torso to come into a T position. So we're open up, twisting towards the right. Our hands are open nice and parallel to the long side of the mat. Inhale, come into a full lunge. And then exhale, open yourself up. Coming into that twist. Left hand is going to come back down. Reach those right fingertips up. And then we're going to press into our left hand to come back into a low lunge. So this is going to be a little bit more of a mobility where we're opening ourselves for that twist. And then inhale, come back into a low lunge. If you need a block for support, please do so. And maybe if you can't do the twist fully, then maybe you just stay here and you come forward and back. What I really want you to focus on is your pelvic floor, your lower abdominal wall. So sucking that belly button up towards that heart space, it's kind of like you're going in through cold water, or maybe you're trying to fit into an old pair of jeans. This will help engage the glutes. We're going to do this 4 more times. This is going to be a great hip opener. Activating the lower walls, reaching through the crown of our head. So we're not rounding down, we're making ourselves known. Present. Take 2 more. And slowly our hands are going to come down on the inside of our right leg. Tuck those left toes, lift the left knee up, and then send the right leg back, coming into a high plank. And then take a nice chaturanga. So we're going to bring our chin, chest, knees, slide your way up to an upward facing dog. And then exhale, send the hips back for downward facing dog. Take a pause and notice what you feel from the left side to the right side. Do you notice any sensations that open up for you? Go ahead, press into that right heel, bend that left knee, and place your left foot on the outside of your left hand. The right knee drops down, untuck the toes, and reorganize your alignment, making sure that the left knee is stacked over the left ankle. It can be a little bit further. We just want to make sure it doesn't go past the toes. Coming onto the top part of the right knee. So instead of having it either the top part or the bottom, so maybe you do come up like this, where the hip is stacked over the knee versus having it be elongated. So it really kind of depends how your knee feels, how your hip flexor is, and what stretch you are really trying to incorporate. So press into that right hand, inhale that left hand all the way up, activate those fingers. The left knee should not be splaying out towards the left. We want it to be in line with our toes and essentially hugging the midline. Squeeze the glutes, elongate the head, and then engage the core to rise on up. You can go ahead, close the book and facing forward, and then inhale, open yourself up. We want to make sure that we're engaging these back muscles here that are connected to the spine so that it's a flow that kind of ripples into our hands. Coming back forward, and then open yourself for that twist. The hips remain forward. We don't need to open them up to either side. They're relatively squared. And then drop that right hand down. Left hand comes up for that twist. Inhale, come back to a low lunge. And inhale, open yourselves up. Exhale, rise on up. Notice what you feel that's different from your left from the right side. Pretend you're on a paddleboard. If you need to place a block underneath your hand, you can always utilize support or a pillow. Maybe you're not there yet and you're just opening yourself up and back. We're going to take 2 more. Find your breath. You're doing great. We're almost done. You're on that paddleboard. Last one, you might even feel some of your inner thighs being activated. And the hands come down on the inside of that right leg. Tuck the right toes, lift that right knee up, and send that left leg back. Coming into a high plank, and then take your chaturanga. You can bring your knees down first, your chin, your chest. Feel the arch in the back, and slide your way forward, coming up into an upward facing dog. We're going to come into a child's pose. Toes will tuck. Send the hips to sit onto the heels, the belly over your thighs. If you need a bolster or a pillow underneath your head, you can always do that. Your hands are relaxed around the upper body, and take a moment to just go inwards. Relaxing the body, relaxing the mind, allowing it to cool down from all of the heat and movement. See if you can breathe fully in from the belly or back. if you'd like, you can stay here, or you can begin to walk your hands slowly up. Come to sit onto your heels, roll the shoulders down and back. Take a moment to just notice the difference with how your body and your mind, your breath feels. Your hands will come to prayer pose in front of your heart. Take a moment to just honor yourself, your intentions. Move in your body, being purposeful with your movement, and may this serve you, your health, and your body. Thank you for flowing with me today. May you stand in your light and cherish it. Malama Pono. I'll see you next time.